Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. Hey Pile 1, what is going on? Welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through what is your person's, or actually this is the who are you to them reading. It's that one, okay? So we're going to be finding out who are you to your person, where do you stand with them, and what is it that they are wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. We're also going to kind of look at their, just briefly, like their thoughts and feelings as it pertains to all of those things, okay? So keep in mind, you guys, it's a collective general love reading. If something resonates, just do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite landing, though, just drop that bit of information or that message, leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I have this reading available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the bookings details are there. There's also a lot of $25 readings available in the specific person category. So go see which ones fit your needs. We're going to get right into your reading, you guys. You guys were drawn to the Fool's Gold Druzy. I just got that in Arkansas last week on a girls trip. And I had been, it was awesome. And that might have something to do with this reading too. For some reason, the story is coming through. Okay. I've been wanting like a druzy piece of Fool's Gold for quite some time, but for whatever reason, I was like, I didn't want to try and find it like on Etsy or a place like that. I'm like, no, just hold off, you know, feeling led to hold off on it. And then when I went on a girls trip with my friends last week, I happened to find the only piece of druzy that they had there in the store. And not the store, it was actually part of someone's private collection. And I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Right? So that might have something to do with your guys' reading. And then for who you are to them, we have flying. Okay, I'm gonna look at the book, but if I remember correctly, I believe this one talks about I'm remembering something about a star, like the reaching for the stars, or you know, there's a star with your name on it or something. There's almost this feeling of your person feeling very lucky and or blessed to have like come across you or cross your path. And then we also have the 8 of Wands in the reverse. We have the 10 of Pentacles in the upright position, and then we also have the 7 of Swords. Okay. Let me check the book real quick. I'm hearing something about stopping and smell the roses. Your person may have a tendency to maybe live life in the fast lane or something like that. There is a bit of that coming through, or maybe they just don't usually tend to notice a lot of details, but for who you are to them, it's like they want to slow down, not in a bad way, like they want to slow down and pay attention. They want to smell the roses. I'm hearing something about them maybe usually having their head up in the clouds, or their focus could be so narrow, and it's like you're broadening. It's like you're broadening their view or their horizon or something like that. Okay, now the Seven of Swords doesn't always have to talk about deception. It can also talk about strategy. Your person can see long term with you, pile one, with the Ten of Pentacles there. It's like they can see everything with you. Okay, there is, they can see you as for who you are to them. They see you as somebody that they could spend the rest of their life with, right? They see you as someone that they would want to slow down and actually, you see what I'm saying? But let me check the book. All right, it says you have the power to see things from a higher perspective, because it says flying, right? If you were a bird flying high in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today, you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. Okay, this is a sign that your waiting is over, that all your hard work has paid off, and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. And so, yeah, prior to you, your person may have felt like there may have been some dreams and wishes and stuff that were just beyond their reach. And now it's like, now that they've crossed paths with you, you could have been or are someone that they have been wanting to call in or manifest or meet, okay? Says you have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Yeah. Okay, there's that thing about the star there. It says, spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting for you. Yeah, definitely. Something about wanting to stop and smell the roses, like you make them want to slow down and actually pay attention. Your person could just be in the habit of just being on the go all the time, or maybe it could also be them with their head in the clouds, okay, just constantly just being up in their head, thinking, what's the next thing, okay, I've achieved this, what's the next thing? And for some reason, it's like with you, it's like, not that they're not having goals and stuff like that, but it's like you give them a sense of wanting to slow down, and that's what it is. Okay, your person prior to you, for who you are to them, pile one, it feels like your person has been someone who just couldn't seem to slow down no matter what. Like it's always been like one milestone goal achievement after the other, but they could never really find like fulfillment or satisfaction. It's like once they achieved something, it was always, okay, what's the next thing, right? And there's kind of the sense of not being able, it's weird, not being able to slow down. It's almost like you came right at the right time, because I feel like had your paths not crossed, your person may have stepped into like a bit of a void, like, not being satisfied with what they have, not being content, something along those lines. I'm not picking up on, that may have been the energy, because I'm tapping in and I'm like, it's not that they're thankful for everything that they've been able to achieve up until this point, but again, for whatever reason, it's like, what's the next thing? Great, we've accomplished that, what's the next thing? And you've come along and you're inspiring them in some way, shape, or form to actually slow down and like enjoy life. It's like, no, not to say that you can't have goals, right? That's okay. But is that the only thing you're being fueled by? Because if that is, that's an insatiable thing. Like that'll never, and your person could just be very driven, right? Nothing wrong with that as well. But I almost feel like you came right at a right time, or you came right before it could have gotten your person to a point where it's like too much is never enough. It's that kind of a thing. And you're like, no, slow down, right? Slow down and enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? I'm seeing someone who just doesn't really allow themselves to really stop and be in the present moment and to enjoy, like somebody who eats so fast they can't even taste their food, right? It's stuff like that. It's like smell the roses, actually taste and savor your food, right? Be in the present moment with me. Yes, I love that you're ambitious, right? This is you talking to your person. Like, I love that you're ambitious and you have all these high dreams and stuff, and that's awesome, right? Yes, shoot for the stars. And at the same time, slow down and smell the roses with me. Enjoy some of this life and the fruit of your labor. It's like you make your person want to slow down and actually enjoy some of the things that they have worked so hard for. Okay. Let's see. I'm also hearing here with the 10 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords, you help them sharpen their focus, because with them wanting this 10 of Pentacles, or at least seeing that kind of a lifestyle with you, it's like they're sharpening their focus so that they can achieve that 10 of Pentacles, right? 10 of Pentacles, that's everything. That's family, that's legacy, that's riches, wealth, abundance, being taken care of and provided for. It's like happily ever after and beyond. It's interesting though, you might bring more of like the emotional fulfillment to the table, because you know, like there's no cup energy coming through. Let's see, show me pile one's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings. Okay. They have a hard time just like slowing down, and there's something underneath all of this that is really driving your person's ambition. Yes, they can be very ambitious just by nature, but there feels like there's something underneath that could lead to a problem, because we have trust issues, and then it's like they want to trust, and at the same time it's like, well, you know, if I let go of the reins too much, everything, you know, let me get a couple more. All of these cards are coming through. Sideways. Let's get one more. Oh, it's about a delicate balance. Okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense. At the bottom of the deck we have, I'm feeling on top of the world. Your person, to them at least, they feel like they have a lot riding on them, like their success, you know. I don't know if they feel or if they are responsible for quite a bit, but there's this delicate balance, and your person is like, they want to kind of, and I feel like you're inspiring them to do that, right? Your person could have very much, I don't know, it's not coming through as control issues. Hold on. They're very driven and they're very ambitious, and at the same time it's like there's balance that's needed, right? And it's your person having, it's like you're coming in and you're kind of helping to provide the balance to your person. Otherwise they could burn out. That might be what that 8 of Wands is in the reverse too. It's whether you're teaching this person directly or not, right? It's like you're showing them by example, and this could be something the two of you do. Like your person could be an example of, you know, having like lighting a fire, going, you know, 90 to nothing or whatever the case may be, and then you're like, yeah, that's awesome, right? And make sure that at some point during the trip, you know, if there's something to see, right? It's funny that it's coming through in this way. If there's something to see, slow down, right? And take in the scenery around you. Like the destination is always gonna be there, you know, but let's have some fun on the trip as well, you know, because there are things to see and experience on the trip to the destination. Otherwise it's just, you know, what I'm seeing is like your person coming through, and it's like they have a destination set, but once they get to the destination they might stop and sit there for like maybe a minute and take everything in, and then it's like, okay, what's next? And you're like, we didn't even have time to enjoy the destination. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. And it's like, you know, there's so much to take in and so much to see, so much to experience, if all you're worried about is getting to the next destination, and actually there's a song coming through, I think it's called Destination Addicted, and that is kind of like your person. And for you, for who you are to them, pile one, you're the balance to that. It's like, yeah, it's great that you have goals, you got dreams, you know, whatever the case may be, but why are you addicted to that? Because once your person achieves whatever that destination is, they're not even sticking around long enough to actually take in what they achieved. You're bringing balance to that. We have, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Your person has a hard time letting go and just kind of coasting for a minute. They're always on the go, go, go. Or at least that's what they feel like inside. Like they always got to be moving. Very restless kind of an energy. And you very gradually, I don't feel like it's something that, you know, that's happening overnight, but very gradually you're helping this person to kind of slow their roll. Like, yeah, we don't, you know, we're not saying not to have dreams and goals and achievements and stuff like that, but slow down and take in the sights, right? Going 90 to nothing has its usefulness, but not 24/7, 7 days a week, or it's 24/7, you know, 365 days a year. Slow the F down. That's basically what it is, right? And so your person is coming through, pile one, saying that you're the best thing that's ever happened to them, and that's coming out right underneath that 10 of Pentacles. You know, you very well could be somebody who, your person could have anxiety disorders, high blood pressure, or that's where it could be leading, right? And you're teaching them how to slow down. It's like breathe, right? It's so strange the way things are coming. It's like I'm seeing color come back to them. I don't know, like if they have a lot of bad habits. I don't, it's weird. It's like the color's coming back. It's like they were kind of gray and ashen, you know, in complexion. And you're like, you need to slow down. You need to enjoy your food. You need to breathe. Make sure you're breathing, right? It seems dramatic, but I almost feel like if it wasn't for you, your person could probably be headed towards, like, you know, an early heart attack or a stroke or something like that. Now, granted, this is not medical advice, right? But that's kind of the thing. It's like you're coming through in this very healing energy, teaching your person, you know, how not to burn out. They're like burning both sides of the candle, and you're like, let's burn, you know, let the other side burn out. We can leave the other side running, you know, the other side of that candle burning. But let's not do this to our detriment. It's something like that, man. Let's find out where you stand with your person. Oh, and then we also have I trust you. Okay, so your person does trust you. They feel like you're the best thing that's ever happened to them, pile one. They also want you to know that your heart is safe with them. So that Seven of Swords has nothing to do with like deceit or trickery or sneaking away or anything like that. It's just, again, in the essence of the energy this is coming through, that's more like your person, for who you are to them. They're sharpening their focus, and it's not so much narrowing it down. I feel like there's like you're helping them to widen their perspective and widen their focus, but get very like razor sharp clear. There's a difference between being narrowed versus being wide but very clear. I hope that makes sense, okay? Where do you stand with them currently? Camera is showing up in the reverse. Yeah, you guys, all these are coming out in the reverse. Hold on, let me get one more. What does pile one currently stand with their person? Sword in the Rose. There's that clarity. Yeah. Okay, let's get one more. Whoa. We got two more. Twin Flames and not enough. Oh my gosh. Bottom of the deck, we have sunglasses, and this is focusing out. Yes. Okay, yes, this is exactly what's happening. Your person had a very narrow thing, okay, narrow. It's like they couldn't see past whatever their destination was. Definitely destination addiction coming through, but you're helping to broaden their focus, right? Now, with focusing out, I feel like that's at the bottom of the deck because that energy is shifting. It's on its way out. You're helping your person to remember to stop and smell the roses, to stop and actually taste your food, right? To stop and take in the sights around you as you're on your way to where you're wanting to go, right? And then once you get to the destination, you know, stop and actually like unpack there for a minute and enjoy where you're at before you pack everything back up and go to the next spot, right? It's like, breathe, damn it. So let's see, we got camera showing up in the reverse. In the upright position, it says reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learning from the past, making memories. Yeah, see, this is your person going so fast. They're not even, your person could legitimately have like short-term memory loss, or they could have just difficulty recalling a lot of things because their mind is always focused on what's the next thing, right? That is still there. With the sword and the rose, though, coming through, it says clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. That's your person getting very clear. Your person may even be at a point in their life, pile one, where they're like, why don't I remember a great deal of my life? It's because they've been so much in their head and so focused on what's the next thing. They do suffer from, it's not because, you know, it's like a disease or something that they have. It's just if you don't stop and actually allow yourself to be in a present moment where you're at, you're not going to have a lot of memories, right? And so let me check on that camera showing up on in the reverse. That's showing up right on top of the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Tell me about camera in the reverse. Oh, and then they showed me this twin flames and not enough. It's like, yeah, they're kind of frustrated. Yeah, frustrated in the relationship because it could be everything that there's such an intense connection between the two of you. The bond itself is very intense. This could be a twin flame connection if you believe in that. This could be confirmation of that. It also can mean that the two of you have a bond and a connection that's unparalleled to any other bond or connection that up to this point has been experienced, right? And it could be frustrating to your person on some levels because it is causing them to have to maybe want to slow down. But that's just what those kinds of connections do to people, right? You wake them up. There's a sense here of your person waking up and realizing like, wow, I've lost a lot of my life to, this destination addiction. I don't even have a lot of memories of what, they may have like trophies and awards and recognition and stuff like that, but personal memories may be lacking for them, okay? For where you stand with them, the two of you may not even have a lot of like keepsakes, even a lot of photos or a lot of, there may not be a lot in the 3D to show for some of the times that you spent together. That can be, that's more on the specific side, but that's going to resonate for some of you here. Why is camera showing up in the reverse for where pile one stands with their person? Okay, I feel like that energy is shifting. There's a sense of things here never at this point anyway, having quite gotten off the ground between the two of you, pile one. Your person could want to switch that up though, especially with the Ten of Pentacles there, because they can see, they have that vision, right? Now follow through is a completely different thing. With the Page of Wands clarifying the camera in the reverse, the energy for that is there make memories, but in order to make memories with someone, you actually have to slow down in order to do it. And it seems like your person, again, is just so focused, or has been so focused on what the next thing is. They could even forget, right, to take photos and you know, get keepsakes and stuff like that. Very interesting. And then we got the King of Swords energy coming through, and this energy was so shifty. It wanted to be in the reverse, but it situated itself into the upright position. A lot of this energy is shifting in a good way for your person. Again, your person has slowed down at least enough to recognize, like, if I don't slow down and actually enjoy my life, it's like I'm going to be on my deathbed and not have any recollection of any of the things that I've done, right? Tell me more about the Sword and the Rose for where pile 1 stands with their person. Oh, the Knight of Wands with the Death in the reverse. Interesting. Yeah, this is your person understanding, like, if I don't slow down, I'm gonna miss a lot of the important things. You, just your presence in their life, pile 1, you bring a lot of clarity to your person. You've helped to sharpen their focus quite a bit. And you, maybe just by living by example, have shown your person the detriment of just constantly being addicted to what the next thing is. Okay, the Sword and the Rose for where pile 1 stands with their person. Anything else? There's the Page of Wands and the Empress. Okay, and again, clarifying the Sword and the Rose and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, they're very clear about who you are to them. They can see you as being the mother or the father of their kids. Okay, the Empress coming out with the Page of Wands there. There's something that your person sees as being very fertile. Okay, just the connection itself, the energy between you, your guys' bond. And yes, you know, they could be very fertile biologically. You could be very fertile biologically. There's definitely kids coming through in the energy here. So for those of you where that may not be something that you're wanting, just be very careful with that. Okay. Your person sees so much possibility and potential for, you know, you and their connection with you, pile 1, a lot. Okay. Twin flames, not enough. Tell me more about that. For where pile 1, I keep wanting to call you guys pile 2. If you guys were also drawn to pile 2, you might want to pick that up. Go look at it, okay? I haven't even filmed it yet, so I don't know what's in it. Let's see. Yeah, your person's juggling a lot. And there's the Page of Wands again. That Page of Wands keeps coming through. Let me find out what's going on. Why does this Page of Wands keep coming through here? There's the Five of Swords. Your person could see you, pile 1, as being very childlike, but in a way that's endearing, very innocent, very pure, right? Full of just like wonder and curiosity and possibility, and your person finds that very endearing. And that coming through with the Five of Swords, it's like your person is almost wanting to protect that, right? There's almost an energy of where you stand with them. It's very interesting. And now we have the Empress showing up at the bottom of the deck with all of that. They do see you as mature. They see you as very fertile, full of potential. You know, whatever, they can see that whatever you put your mind to, or whatever, they could see you also as being very lucky, like just blessed, like whatever you want, you know, you're able to manifest, or just it falls in your lap or something like that. You could have a lot of Jupiter dominant placements in your chart. Sagittarius, Pisces, ninth house placements, 12th house placements. It could be, you know, one of those could be like you could be Jupiter dominant in your chart somehow. But your person wanting to protect that. It's almost like with the Fool's Gold, it's like, you know, Pyrite, sorry, is what that is. It's Pyrite, but it's also known as Fool's Gold. It's like they found a treasure in you and they're wanting to protect it for where you stand with them. Okay. But there's almost like there's a duality to your person's nature, pile one. You know, they could be Gemini. There could be Gemini placements in their chart. What's other duality signs? There's Libra, there's Cancer. They could be very mercurial. Your person is having a very difficult time, like really slowing down though. And there's are times when your person feels thankful that you're there to kind of help them do that. But then there's also that dual nature where they're like, will you just leave me be and let me just go do what I'm going to do, right? With twin flames and not enough. Twin flame connection or twin flame-esque connections, you know, connections that take on a very twin flame-esque kind of a, you know, dynamic, feel both exhilarating, but they can also feel very frustrating, right? And that's how your person feels. Like, yes, they're drawn in by the intensity and even the promise of what's possible through your guys' connection, and at the same time it's like it's very frustrating because they're like, you know, pride and ego, wounding, all that stuff can get in the way. And sometimes you just want to be left to your own devices, and it's like you're not, their connection, you and or their connection with you is not letting them do that anymore. It's like someone who is asleep wakes up and they're like, I want to go back to sleep. And it's like, no, you can't go back to sleep. It's time to wake up. It's time to notice what's going on. It's time to see what's been holding you back or what's been causing you pain, what's been causing you suffering. And they thank you for that. And at the same time, they're like, I kind of liked it better when I didn't know. It's that kind of a thing, okay? It can be very frustrating. Some of you might even know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Let's find out now. What is it they're wanting? Ghosting, okay? Let's get a couple more. What do they want? There could be times when your person just wants to drop it all and leave everything behind. We have jealousy coming out with poker face, okay? Ooh, there's that addiction showing up at the bottom of the deck, okay? I like that it is showing up at the bottom of the deck. We'll find out what's going on, though. It could be that it's on its way out. We got poker face coming out with jealousy. Your person may not want you to know that you have the ability to trigger them the way that you do. And you do have the ability to do that, especially with twin flame coming out, okay? You absolutely have the ability to activate your person in ways that make them feel very uncomfortable. Because again, there was kind of this energy coming through of your person, like they like to feel in control, especially of their emotions, is what's coming through. And that might be why they're always so just focused on the next thing. It's like if they to your person, if they're keeping their mind focused on something, then it's like, then I don't have to stop and feel what I'm feeling, right? And you're like, no, we need to slow down and feel. That's part of the human experience, right? And your person's like, I don't like to do that. I don't like to, you know, yeah, the smell of the roses is fine, but if it's activating or reminding them of maybe some things they don't want to be reminded of, right? Those things like that happen for a reason. You know, just because you try to avoid feeling certain things doesn't mean that energy isn't there doing, you know, what energy does. If you believe in manifestation, you know, you manifest what you're feeling 24/7, and your emotions are a part of that energy. It's like the fuel, right? And so your person could just have a really difficult time allowing themselves to slow down enough, because it's like if they slow down enough, they might actually have to deal with things that they don't want to deal with, in terms of like, you know, that might be what that camera energy is in the reverse too. There might be things in your person's past that they haven't come to terms with, and that it's almost like, it's so weird, we're towards the end of this reading and now the truth is coming out. Your person is destination addicted. They're on the go all the time. It's because they're running away from something, memories or something that they're not wanting to confront. It's like, if I achieve enough, if I do enough, then I won't have to deal with that back there, right? But what they're not understanding is that stuff doesn't go anywhere. It's just staying in your energy, wrecking havoc on things in the background, right? Especially with your person. They could be a workhorse. They could, you know, but there's a sense of not really feeling satisfied, not feeling content. And they're thinking like, well, maybe the next thing that I do will bring me this feeling of satisfaction and content, or will take care of this feeling of not being enough, or whatever the case may be. Give me a second. For what they're wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you, they don't want to hurt you. They don't want to do anything to purposefully, like, and that might be why, like, we have ghosting here, but it's showing up right next to protection. For whatever reason, your person may feel like they're not significant other material, you know, they're not husband, wife material, they're not marriage material, they're not boyfriend, girlfriend material, whatever the case may be. They're not, you know, they could have a mean streak or a jealous streak, and they may be trying to cover that up. I'm telling you, there's something in their past that your person is not wanting to face or touch on or anything like that. And that's why I can feel their energy. It's constantly like seeking, what's the next thing? For what they want, pile one, they want you all to themselves. They do have a fear of losing you, but they for whatever reason, there it says hiding true feelings. Yeah. There's such a dual nature to your person, pile one. There's a part of them that just wants to leave everything behind and kind of like just go do their own thing. But then there's another part of them that's like, they know that that would be a mistake if they ended up doing that. And it's like two wolves. There's two parts of your person, and they're constantly butting heads. One part of them wants to slow down with you, settle down with you, you know, build a life with you. And then the other part of them wants to drop you in their connection with you and just go do their own thing. There's like this constant tug of war. We have I'm feeling on top of the world showing up at the bottom of the deck. Let me look at addiction real quick. God, this reading is probably going over, but it's okay. Addiction at the bottom of the deck says bad habits, addicted to sex, drinking, etc., destructive behavior. Tell me more about the bottom of the deck energy for addiction, please. Okay, I was going to say it's on its way out, but it's a struggle. Your person, there's something that your person uses as a coping mechanism. And again, it could just be the need to achieve, destination addiction. But you know, they could also have a legitimate addiction to something else, right? Sex, porn, drugs, narcotics, alcohol, something like that. And it also could just be, you know, just bad habits in general. Your person is having a difficult time letting go of. Okay. They could like to party. They could like, and that might be something too. There could be a lifestyle change needed in order for them to really slow down and settle down and pursue an actual life with you. And that might be what that is, or could be a sacrifice involved, right? that they're having a difficult time. There's something they're having a hard time letting go of. That isn't good. It's not good for your person. It's not. And they know that. Whatever it is that they're needing to sacrifice and let go of is actually very destructive to them. It is holding them back. But something about it is very comforting to your person, even though it's toxic. It's a toxic comfort zone. But at the same time, you know, you probably understand what that's like too. It's, you know, the unknown, stuff like that. I feel like I'm rambling. You guys, I'm going to go ahead and end your reading because I can talk and talk and talk. I feel like that might be part of your guys's thing, right? A lot of rambling, a lot of talking. I'm hoping that this made sense. Please let me know in the comments, right? If any of this made sense, because I felt like I did a lot of rambling, and I feel like that has a lot to do with the energy of tapping into your person, okay? Anyway, let me know. Again, I do want to reiterate, though, your person is very protective of you. They see you and their connection with you as being very fertile, very pure. It's like, you know, I can see them. There's like two different worlds that they're having to juggle. It's one with you, right, where it's by the book and it's doing things the right way, and you know, this is where I'm going to grow and I'm going to prosper, and you know, I'm really going to, you know, if I allow myself, I can really enjoy things, or I can go back to the way that things were, and just with my head in the clouds, yes, I can achieve some things and stuff like that. You know, I don't have to let go of bad and addictive behaviors, but they also know there's sacrifice that happens with that too, right? Anyway, pile 1, thank you so much for hanging out with me again today, for still being here if you made it this far, okay? Do me a favor, smash the like button if you got what you came here for. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated and made sense, okay? Become part of the family if you haven't yet already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 1, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, guys. What's happening, pile 2? Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading. We are tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where you stand with them, and what it is that they want when it comes to you and their connection with you. Okay, so just keep in mind, you guys, it's a collective general love reading. Whatever resonates, do whatever you want with it. If something doesn't quite land, just leave that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it does resonate with. I have personal readings available, including this exact reading in this exact format as a personal, if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box. All the booking details are there. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category, and many of them are just $25. So go see which ones fit your needs, you guys. All right. So you guys were drawn to the green moonstone. Who you are to your person. We got spirit of place. Okay. We also have the ace of wands, temperance, whoa, and then we got death, rebirth. You are, I literally just heard second wind, okay? For who you are to your person, you are their second wind. What does that mean? When somebody says, like, I just got my second wind, it's like, you know, when you're exercising and you're starting to feel tired, all of a sudden it's like you feel the energy, you feel a whole rush of rejuvenating energy, and it's that energy that pushes you, right? It's that point where adrenaline like kicks in, and then you get that push, that second wind that you need to finish it out, right? To go the rest of the way. But in a sense of what it's coming through for who you are to your person, it's like you inspire them to go, you inspire them to keep going. It feels rejuvenating, refreshing. You know, you're their second wind, especially with that ace of wands and that temperance. We got Sagittarius and Scorpio coming through. Ace of wands, we have also Aries and Leo. Okay. Could be some very, could be dominating energies in your guys' connection. It could be your placements, their placements, something along those lines. Okay. There's a healing energy quality to you and their connection with you, pile 2. Let's see. Let's get their thoughts and their feelings out real quick. I keep hearing you just got your second wind. Okay. You inspire your person, your inspiration. You inspire them to keep going. When they get around you, their connection with you, pile 2, could just rejuvenates them, gives them a boost. It's like an energetic boost, right? But I mean, it's deeper than an egoic boost. It's like you boost them at a cellular level, right? You rejuvenate them, you restore them. It's very, you and their connection with you, pile 2, is very restorative, okay? Especially with that temperance energy, all this energy, really. The Ace of Wands, temperance, and death and rebirth, that's some very powerful, potent energy, okay? If your person is feeling tired or fatigued or just feeling low, like down in the dumps for whatever reason, it's like they get around you and you pull them out of that, okay? That's what your energy and their connection with you does for them, pile 2, okay? Let's get a couple more. Let's find out what their thoughts and their feelings are. The energy that they get from you, it may be so powerful, they may need to take it in smaller doses, though. It's like hooking, it's like when they feel their battery getting low, they can hook into you, but then it's like there's a time when you're like, okay, that's too much charge, I need to unhook, right? Let me get a couple more. Oh, wow, avoid, yeah, okay. So far on the board, we have I need my space right now, right next to avoidant attachment, okay? Very interesting. Can't stop thinking about it, showing up right underneath death and rebirth. The bottom of the deck says, I'm not a safe space for you. Let me see how that's orienting. That can be background energy, or it could also be on the way out, okay? The bottom of the deck energy, though, it's not the strongest energies, but let me see. Tell me more about this bottom of the deck energy, please. I'm not a safe space for you. I'm hearing they want to be, okay? They want to be a safe space for you. Okay, it's on its way out with the 10 of Swords showing up in the reverse. Okay, what I'm hearing, pile 2, is that, if you guys have been going through a lot of stuff, like really challenging, if the dynamic between the two of you has been very challenging, if it's caused you a lot of pain or just challenging overall, I feel like what's coming through is that you guys have gotten past the worst of it. It's all uphill from here, okay? Your person may even want to come through with an apology, pile 2, for some of the things that, you know, their connection with you may have put you through. I feel like your person is aware of a lot of these things. Like if they do have an avoidant attachment style, an insecure avoidant attachment style, they're aware of it to some degree, okay? Tell me about I'm not a safe space for you being on its way out. What does that mean for pile 2? The energy is still in the process of shifting. Now, the good news is that we got the 3 of Pentacles coming out in the upright position, but it was still kind of wanting to shift like it was going into the reverse. This is still unstable. The good news is that your person not being a safe space for you, and the reason why your person's not a safe space for you is because they're not even a safe space for themselves, okay? Especially if they are dealing with an insecure attachment style, which largely can be fueled by abandonment wounds, you guys, okay? And so your person, with temperance coming through here, your person could legitimately be going through some kind of a healing process, okay? Which could have kicked off because of their connection with you, all right? Death and rebirth, yes, there's transformation happening in your person's energy, and you have a lot to do with that, pile 2. Your person is highly aware of that. it's on their mind all the time. Your person could be feeling very uncomfortable right now. Their connection with you, just you overall, you could have forced them to face some very ugly and uncomfortable truths about themselves, but they're thankful for that because they're understanding and realizing, like, sometimes both like literally and metaphorically, people can avoid mirrors for a myriad of reasons, but the number one reason why people avoid mirrors is because they don't want to see the reality of what they're looking at, of what's being reflected back to them. But it's almost like, and it's funny because death and rebirth actually has, the face in is like the universe is a mirror, right? And so your person, because of their connection with you, they had to face some very dark, depressing, ugly truths about the shadow. They've been confronted by their shadow, right? Things that they need to let go of, things that they need to let die. Being confronted with their own inner demons, addictions could have been a part of that, right? And now, whereas they may have been able prior to their connection with you, pile two, they may have been able to like avoid looking in that metaphorical mirror. Now it's like it's all that they can see. Even if they want to stop thinking about it, they can't. It's like all they can see are the things that they're needing to overcome, which is good, right? And the fact that we do have temperance anchoring and centering and grounding all of that energy, while it is uncomfortable, your person they're making it out of the other end. In this specific deck, I do like that it came out as rebirth. It's not just death that your person is having to contend with. There's a rebirth and there's a new beginning after all of that, okay? And so, your person is both excited and terrified at the same time because they're happy that they are overcoming a lot of the things that they know have been holding them back just in life in general, but also from you, holding them back from you, right? But they're still like, what's after that? Again, excitement and terrifying. A lot of us don't remember our trip through the birth canal for a very good reason. It was probably terrifying to us as babies, and just being brand new in a whole new world. That's kind of what your person is like. It's exciting and it's terrifying at the same time, right? Tell me about I can't stop thinking about it for their thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile two. Oh, yeah. Wow. You are, okay. Wow. You are opening that, man, the fact that they're coming through in insecure avoidant attachment, and then we have, they can't stop. They're being like almost delivered out of that. They may have been closed at the heart space for so long. That may be what they are fearing the most, is like, what's going to happen once I crack this open? Right? Once I crack, like they may have been, oh wow. There's another message that's coming through. Your person could have up until this point relied on certain substances to kind of help them numb themselves from feeling things, right? And that's what is so terrifying, because it's like, what if, what's going to happen once I crack this heart space open? They have been walled out for so long. Like they've had their heart kind of like, they've been numbing out for so long, running away from feeling things for so long. They have been just, their heart's been, encased in like, walls for so long. It's like, they're excited and at the same time they're scared, because they're like, they don't know if they're going to be able to handle. They're afraid of everything, just of being overtaken, of like, let me ground myself, because I'm actually feeling like the anxiety come through, and it's actually hijacking my ability to read and put things, because there's so much energy. It's hard for me to like keep up with it and put it into words. So your person wants to open up. with that King of Cups energy there's already love there for you and their connection with you, pile 2. There's love there, they want to express it more. And the fact that the King of Cups in the upright position, it's like they may not be able to stop thinking about the fact that they even got to this space with you, where it's like, you know, you made it into their heart space, as difficult as that may have been for you. You're there. You're in their heart. They can't stop thinking about you. And more specifically, they can't stop thinking about how much they love you and care about you. But what they also can't stop thinking about is, again, it's terrifying and exciting. Like, who are they going to become? Because all they've ever known is who they've been up until this point, as toxic as it may have been, right? As closed off as it may have been, as limiting as it may have been. And that, I get that. For someone who, you know, has been a certain identity for so long, there's a transition period where the ego kind of has a little bit of a field day. It has a little bit of a temper tantrum, right? Ego death is not comfortable for the vast majority of people, if anybody. There's a lot of fear and excitement. I can feel both. And that might be why temperance is there. It's balancing both the fear and the faith at the same time, right? Your person is in the process of killing, right, the old self and becoming someone completely different that is more in alignment with, you know, maybe having something more balanced and grounded with you. It's interesting. It says, I need my space right now, showing up right underneath the need. Again, your person, and that's very indicative of somebody, you know, with an avoidant attachment style, you know, they don't mind. They fall in love. Avoidants do fall in love. They do experience intense feelings, and at the same time, it's like, okay, I've had enough, right? I need to disconnect, and I need to go like process this and let this battery die down a little bit. But again, they're healing from that dynamic. They're in the process of healing from that dynamic, and the message that came through earlier, it's like, especially for those of you where you've gone through some very difficult, challenging things with your person, you know, it's like that was the worst of it, or this is the worst of it. It's, you know, rock bottom. It's like you can't go any further down than this. It can only go up from here, if that's what you guys are wanting, right? Let's find out where you currently stand with them, pile 2. Pile 2, we got clock. Okay. Showing up right on top of that the Ace of Wands. There's energy still. There's a spark. There's still chemistry between the two of you. It's still being fed. It's still there. It's constant. It's never ending. It doesn't die, right? But for some reason, it's like, just not at this time. It says need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal. Yes, very much. Your person is healing, which is going to allow this connection to finally maybe make some progress and take on momentum that it hadn't been able to before. You know, your person is in the process of, you know, slaying some inner demons and, you know, letting some things go, overcoming some really maybe bad self-sabotaging habits, things like that, okay? It does take time, and so patience is required. And of course, temperance is patience in a lot of decks. That's what temperance can be named, as patience. And so we also have the butterfly. It says relationship evolving to the next phase. Yes. Healing the inner child and growth. Yes. Okay. That energy is there. The possibility and the potential for you and your person to hit the next milestone, whatever that may be, to make progress, to start gaining momentum, is there. Okay, definitely. The butterfly is also a symbol of transformation. So, you know, for where you are and where you stand, or for who you are and where you stand, there are indications here that transformation is happening within the container of your guys' connection. So what it's been, right, after all of this transformation is happening, is not what it's going to be. It looks like, you know, it's gonna become something very beautiful. It's gonna go from, you know, caterpillar, and then, you know, your person could be, or the connection could be, what's called a cocoon phase, which very uncomfortable, could be very messy in that gooiness, right? But then when it emerges, it's like, ooh, it's beautiful. Very beautiful. Even Spirit of Place has the energy of like transformation and rebirth, right? Sunglasses, but it is showing up in the reverse. And then we got Chaser showing up at the bottom of the deck. So in the upright position, sunglasses says, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Showing up in the reverse though, especially if your person has been maybe if you guys have been experiencing more of your connection like via like social media, you know, 4D, 5D, stuff like that. It's like you're coming out of that. If you guys have been living most of your guys' connection kind of like in fantasy land, daydream land, what could be, what might be, stuff like that, it's coming out of that. I really do feel like you guys are going to be able to, if you want to, right, to ground this connection into something that can be experienced in real life and not just, you know, in dreams and fantasies and you know, imaginal acts and stuff like that. For those of you who are, you know, have been manifesting in a specific kind of dynamic and experience with this person and your connection with this person, it's like it's happening. Okay. It's given me the feeling of, you know, somebody who is like, you know, 9-10 months pregnant. Okay, like in like labor pains. It's like labor pains. That means like, it's very painful, right? Labor pains are painful, but it's also indicative of like you're giving birth. It's not you're getting ready to give birth. You're actively giving birth. And once that part is over, it's like it's, you know, you get the fruit of that labor, which is in that case a baby, right? But for you guys, it's like you get the fruit of the labor pains you guys have been going through, which is something in the real world to show for the labor pains that you just went through, which could look like a commitment, could look like marriage, engagement, spending more time together, quality time together, you know, for real, doing life together and not just living it out in your head. And this is for them as well, that, you know, sunglasses, this is for where you stand with them. You know, you may have been living a lot of this connection out in your mind because that's, you know, that's just what you've been left with. Same with them, right? And so for where you stand with them, it's like you guys are getting ready to experience more quality time with your person and live this connection out in the actual real world in 3D, right? You know, more date nights, moving in together if that's what you want, things along those lines. Okay, let's find out what they want. But again, it says, you know, we do have patience with temperance coming out. We have clock coming out. And so there's still, it's not there yet, but you guys are so close, okay? What do they want? And we got separation showing up right on top. Yeah. Showing up right on top of I need my space right now. It says withdrawal, disconnect, test of love, relationship breaking down. But what this is showing me though, especially with the butterfly energy there, that's what happens. The caterpillar in the cocoon phase literally breaks down what it was, right? Which is a painful process, uncomfortable at the very least. But then it's developing into something that's even way more, 100 times more magnificent, right? And that's what's happening right now. If you guys are in separation, no contact, no communication, you're not talking, blah, 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 believe it or not, you guys are in a cocoon phase. It's getting ready. Something is getting ready to be birthed out of this very uncomfortable, like, scenario, situation, circumstances that you are currently in with your person. Okay. Unvalued, but, or does it say unvalued or undervalued? It's showing up in the reverse though. Okay, which is good. This is in the upright position. It says taken for granted, unequal give and take, not feeling appreciated, but showing up in the reverse. there's going to be a lot more, like that energy is shifting. It's not quite to the point yet where, you know, you're going to feel like you're getting back in return what you've been giving. That energy is shifting though. Okay. Again, patience. And for some of you, I know you've had patience. It's like just a little bit more, you're almost there. Okay. There's so much happening underneath the surface and behind the scenes. Forever changed. That's what your person has been resisting that. Change for a lot of people. There's some people where they welcome change, right? And then there's some people that resist it. And your person has been one of the ones who have been very resistant to it. But that energy, you know, is in the process of shifting. And that is because, you know, dark night of the souls, you know, the cocoon phase, those are very, very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. That space between, you know, death and rebirth, you know, while you're actually going through the process of quote unquote dying, right? Ego death, you know, the old man or the old identity of you is being purged off. That shit hurts. It's painful, very uncomfortable. It can be a very daunting thing to face your own inner demons head on. Basically, it's like you're walking yourself through, you know, quote unquote hell on earth, right? It's not for the faint of heart. And so your person, very understandably so, has been very resistant to that. But it's like they're doing it anyway. And actually, for many people, they get to a point where it's almost like, you know, you almost have to, right? It's like it gets to a point where the more that you resist it, the worse it gets. It's like the more you resist facing your darkest corners within yourself, it's like the scarier it gets. And so you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna surrender, because the more I fight against it, the worse and more intense it gets. So I'm just gonna surrender. And that's where your person is at. They are, believe it or not, pile 2. They are actually surrendering, but they're still in the depths of fighting those inner demons, going through their own personal hell, but they are going to come out the other side. I'm hearing completely unscathed, right? You know, they must have a lot of warrior energy within them, whether they realize it or not. They are very much fighters in a good way, and they may underestimate their own strength and their own abilities quite a bit. All right, at the bottom of the deck we do have mixed feelings. It says indecisive, conflicting feelings, unsure of their relationship. And then at the bottom of the deck for this other one, we have the chaser, where it says chaser and codependent relationship, a fear of abandonment issue. Let me see what's going on with that bottom of the deck energy over here, and then I'm going to see what's going on with this other bottom of the deck energy. Tell me about the chaser. That's background energy. Okay, that's still active. Tell me about mixed feelings, please. That's on its way out. Okay, so your person may have had up until this point some very mixed, conflicting energies when it came to like you and their connection with you. Not so much like mixed feelings as like, do I love pile 2, do I not love? I mean, that could have been part of it, but it's almost like what to do with that, where to go with that. That energy is on its way out though, okay? And I can feel that because, you know, as your person continues to go through this death and a rebirth process, and that temperance is helping to guide them through that, and that Ace of Wands energy too, they don't have mixed feelings when it comes to you and what they want to do. They know what they want when it comes to you, pile 2. They know the outcome that they want. They're just not ready for it yet, okay? They do want to experience, like, they know that in order to live a specific dynamic in a life with you, that they have to become a whole new person. That's what they want. They want to be that person for you and also for themselves, right? They want to be the best, highest version of themselves that they can possibly be, regardless of, you know, you or not. But they do want to be with you. They want to be that version with you, right? And it's taking one hell of a you know, a journey for them of self-discovery, slaying inner demons, overcoming addictive habits, things. It's one hell of a journey, okay? Why is Chaser here at the bottom of the deck? Yeah, for those of you in separation, your person has withdrawn, disconnected. They're taking some space and time out. They haven't let you go though. Energetically, they could still be chasing you, which might look like, you know, checking your social media, reliving memories, watching videos, you know, looking at your pictures, rereading old texts, just stuff like that. Okay, they haven't let you go. They're still thinking about you and their connection with you, you know, all the time. All right. Pile 2, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't yet already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 2, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye guys. Pile 3, what is going on? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're new here. My name is Michelle. We're back doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where it is that you currently stand with them, and what it is that they are wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a collective general love reading. Whatever resonates, take it, run with it, do whatever you want to do with it. If something doesn't quite land though, just drop that bit of information, leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. I even have this exact reading available as a personal if you would like to book it as well. There's also a lot of $25 readings available in the specific person category, so go check them out, see which ones fit your needs. Let's see. So you guys were drawn to the Rubellite and Quartz, or the pink tourmaline and Quartz. It's more Rubellite than it is pink tourmaline, but it could be either or. Let's find out what your person's, who you are to your person. We have... we got rock bottom showing up in the reverse. The 9 of Wands showing up in the reverse. We got the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position. Let me look at rock bottom in the reverse real quick. It says reversed. This card is the symbol for addiction in all forms, subtle or obvious. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results will never provide you with what you desire. At this moment, there is nowhere else to go, and you're facing the end of the road. If you fear change, be willing to change. Surrender your wants to a higher power, ask for truth, and allow humility to be your guiding force from within. You will always get what you need. You are only a victim of your perceptions. Take heart because you can't sink any further. Yeah, rock bottom, exactly. For who you are to your person, pile 3, it feels like you're someone that they just keep going in circles with. They can't seem to gain any ground with you, or at least in this connection, the connection itself, it can't just for whatever reason gain momentum. And with the 9 of Wands showing up in the reverse, there, for who you are to them, it's like you're somebody that they're giving up on. This connection is one that they're giving up on. We'll have to see what's going on with the Ace of Pentacles here. That's not to say that your person doesn't see potential with you and your guys' connection. With the Hermit in the reverse, that's very interesting, Virgo energy, by the way. And then with the Ace of Pentacles, that's the other Earth energies as well, Taurus and Capricorn. This is like a connection that could never really get off the ground, or it's in a place that can't get off the ground, regardless of whether or not it had before. And with the Hermit in the reverse, this is feeling like your person, for whatever reason, choosing not to look at either. They're not looking at their role and how things are going. Feeling very uncomfortable with maybe the way you and or their connection with you is making them feel, the things about them that they are, you know, being confronted with, not feeling very comfortable with what you in this connection with you has brought out of them. They may, what's coming through for who you are to them, they could feel like you're somebody that brings out the worst in them, okay? Let's see. And with rock bottom, when it was talking about, like, you know, bringing out addictions and stuff like that, I mean, it could be, yeah, I mean, again, for your person, they feel like you're someone that brings out the worst in them, and you could, you know, we'll see if there's anything here about, you know, feeling addicted to the toxicity within your guys' connection. We'll see. We're going to get 3 cards to see about their thoughts and feelings as it's contributing to this energy towards you and their connection with you. Oh, I need my space right now. This is interesting that this is showing up underneath the Hermit, and the Hermit is in reverse, because it's not that they're needing their space to do some self-reflection, trying to figure things out or anything like that. It's, we'll do a little bit more digging. Oh, man. Okay, both of you might actually be in this space of wanting to give up on the connection, or just giving up on it, because we have I want the same as you showing up underneath the 9 of Wands in the reverse, and along with that comes out the card that says, I don't worry about the possibility of losing you. There's almost a sense of closure here for who you are to your person, okay? And this could be, it could be mutual, all right? I'm needed elsewhere. Okay, so this Ace of Pentacles may not even be contributed or have anything to do with you and their connection with you. Lost our spark showing up at the bottom of the deck, okay? And yeah, you guys could have lost chemistry, you know. Lost our spark can also talk about losing momentum in the connection, the wind being, you know, taken out of the sails, so to speak. It's like just there's no energy going into the connection at all. For many of you, it's over, right? It's interesting though with that Ace of Pentacles. This almost feels like, let me double check with that Ace of Pentacles here. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, like, the connection and the relationship, as you know, it might be over pile 3, but that seed of potential and possibility still exists between the two of you, at least, you know, as far as your person is concerned. So this could be a thing of, like, you know, giving up on it now, maybe in the future, if things work out, blah, 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 stuff like that, right? But your person, in the meantime, is like, right now, they don't want to put any work, effort, energy into the connection as it is, because it's just not getting anywhere with rock bottom showing up in the reverse. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles, I mean, that's that new beginning, that new start, that potential is there for the two of you. And the Ace of Pentacles, that's, you know, that's a new beginning in the real world. It's not just potential. It's something that can actually take root and, you know, blossom and bloom in the 3D. That is still there. So that would look like, you know, the potential for a committed relationship, moving forward, making progress. And that lost our spark, I'll see what's going on with that. It doesn't feel like that's the loss of chemistry. I just heard the loss of potential. Definitely a loss of momentum. There's no momentum or energy going into this connection at all, at least from your person's end. Your person does see this Ace of Pentacles, that new beginning, that potential for that. They still do see that, right? But for now, they're like, in order for you guys to utilize this new beginning, it would just take a lot of work. And, you know, with the Five of Wands, clarifying that, your person also feels like there's either competition for that new beginning, and of course we do have I'm needed elsewhere showing up underneath that. Yours is not the only connection or endeavor or whatever that, you know, they're seeing potential in. And so there is kind of a sense of, yes, there is this potential for a new beginning with pile 3, but there's also other paths that I could, you know, explore and go down and, you know, put my energy into right now. And what it feels like, for the record, not for the record, just to make sure, because with the Nine of Wands showing up in the reverse, for now, your person has already closed the door, right, on you and your guys' connection. They're like, you know, yes, this opportunity with pile 3 is still there. I'm not pursuing it at this time, maybe at some point in the future, right? For now, they are choosing to focus their attention elsewhere, okay? Some other kind of a responsibility. Let's see if we can find out what that is. Actually, I want to look at what's going on with I Need My Space right now. That could just simply your person saying, like, they're not taking the time away that they're taking from you, the time away that they're taking from you and their connection with you. It's not for the purposes of them trying to figure out how to make this Ace of Pentacles work. That's not it at all. It feels for your person like they've already moved on, right? So tell me about I Need My Space right now. Yeah, it has nothing to do with them committing. They're not taking the space to try to figure out how they can recommit to your guys' connection or put any effort or resources into it with the King of Pentacles in reverse. They're walking away from your guys' connection. They just associate a whole lot of conflict with it. Even chaos with the Five of Swords right here. They could be retreating because of conflict, drama, and chaos in your guys' connection. It's not, yeah, it's not because they're isolating or anything like that. They're only, if they are isolating, that's only from you, okay? And only from their connection with you. Tell me about I'm needed elsewhere. There's Ace of Swords in the reverse. Interesting. Give me a minute. Okay. Tell me more about the Ace of Swords in the reverse, clarifying I'm needed elsewhere. There could be some confusion. Yeah, that might be just a distraction. That whatever they're doing, right, that might be a new path. There is a sense of your person kind of using that to distract themselves for some reason. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse showing up with the Six of Swords in the upright position. In the energy that it's coming through, it feels like distraction. Not to say that they don't have other responsibilities. They're looking for peace, like a peaceful transition, right? There's been a lot of, like the Five of Wands have shown up in your guys' connection. The Five of Swords, you know, what's this? Is there a project or something that they're building? Your person is kind of not feeling very clear, you know, or there could be some kind of a mental fog or something like that. Hold on. Yeah, it might be something with like finances, with the Eight of Pentacles showing up in the reverse. To be honest, what your person is wanting, they're just wanting peace. They want a sense of peace and they're not quite sure how to get it. And so when they're saying like I'm needed elsewhere, they're looking for whatever path is going to bring them the most sense of peace and calm, serenity, stuff like that, right? They still they haven't figured out yet what path that is, okay? They've already figured out the path with you is not it, at least at this time. Again, you know, that Ace of Pentacles is still there between the two of you. Very healthy, very whatever. It's just, it's not being utilized at this time. Your person still knows that that's there, but for whatever reason, it's like maybe they feel like things between the two of you need to calm down or whatever the case may be. Let's find out where you stand with them. Oh no, I want to see what's going on with Lost Star Spark. Tell me about the bottom of the deck energy, please. Okay. Yeah, King of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, but that the Lost Star Spark or Lost Star Momentum energy is actually, it's weakening. It's on its way out. So this isn't something that's just humming in the background between the two of you. Okay, you know, whatever went down between the two of you could have legitimately done some damage to like your guys' actual chemistry. Your ability to get along with each other, feel at peace and at home with each other, all of that stuff, you know, passion, attraction, desirability. It's interesting though that that energy is weakening, so you know, once healing might happen, that's interesting that we got the Ace of Wands in the reverse showing up at the bottom of the deck. What is this? Yeah, just healing. Healing is needing to happen. And it might be already be happening because, again, that energy is weakening. So, you know, whatever chemistry or spark that you guys have or started out with that could have been really strong, that may have been deeply, deeply impacted and affected by, you know, arguments, drama, chaos, conflict in your guys' connection, you know, not necessarily the time you spend apart, but the more you're able to heal from whatever that drama, you know, that the baggage and stuff like that, healing that baggage, healing the pain, healing the hurt, the disappointment and stuff like that. For those of you where it matters, it's like that chemistry and that spark could come back. It might take a different form, though, with the Ace of Wands showing up in the reverse. It may be more of a, like, I respect you as a person. Let's find out where you stand. We'll circle back to that if the reading takes us there. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Seduction, okay. You guys, the attraction is still there. It says attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. And yeah, there could also be a third-party interference happening here. Okay, for those of you where you know that is a, that's a dynamic, okay? But again, as we mentioned earlier, your person still doesn't know. So if there is an active third party in your guys' dynamic on your person's end, they still don't know whether or not that path with the third party is the path that they want to go down. Okay? Or continue on. Let's see. What else do we got? The Golden Mirror. Yeah. It's a self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship love bombing. And that is pointing right back to that Hermit in the reverse. There's some things in this connection. Your person is avoiding that mirror at all costs. Again, they don't like who they are or what you brought out in them. If I'm being honest with the message that's coming through, they didn't like how they felt. Most of the time, especially if it was characterized by a lot of conflict, chaos, drama, arguments. What are they, like high volatility, very hostile energies, bitterness, resentment, and stuff like that, right? Let's get one more. Hand of Cards. Showing up right on top of that Ace of Pentacles. The Phoenix, interesting, showing up at the bottom of the deck. It says new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. Let me look at the Phoenix real quick. Tell me about this bottom of the deck energy. Ooh, yeah. Ten of Swords in the upright position. Very interesting. You guys, your person still sees potential for this connection. It's almost given that energy where it's like they're closing the door for now, but it's like they're leaving a window cracked for a possibility of maybe a future reconciliation. Now, with the Hand of Cards here, it says take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, and gambling. Yeah, this is them exploring other options, choosing to see what else is out there. And that seduction could be pointing towards, you know, other third-party energies. But again, it's really interesting with the Phoenix at the bottom of the deck. Your person is, it's not a very big or a strong space, but your person is holding space for the possibility that the two of you may come back together at some point in the future. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not, let me look at Golden Mirror. Tell me more about the Golden Mirror. The Four of Cups, exactly. You know, your person is withholding. They're refusing. They know the opportunity for a new path or a new phase is there, but they're refusing it at this time. Tell me more about seduction. There's the Star. This also includes you, though. Like, you know, so the attraction is still there. They still feel that romantic and that sexual attraction towards you. And there's still even hope and optimism when it comes to your guys' connection. But for now, it's just like they're not doing anything with it. Maybe at a later time. I'm hearing them say that they're wanting to go down the path of least resistance right now. And there is a lot of resistance when it comes to you and their connection with you. It feels like it could be coming from both ends. Okay? They just want what's easy right now. You know, if this was a connection that triggered a lot in both of you guys, you know, and a lot of, you know, especially if they're karmic connections, and you know, soulmate connections can definitely take on karmic natures, and so can twin flames, right? If you believe in those dynamics. But it's like for now, your person is just like, there's too much friction. They don't want friction right now. They just want easy. One last time, tell me about the Hand of Cards. It's not about them being tricky or sneaky or even strategic. They associate risk with you. It's like they associate, like if there's something, there's either maybe sacrifice that might have to be involved, or there's also, it's more about risk though. It's like it would be very risky for them to, maybe that's how they feel, to shut off, you know, other paths and focus solely on yours, at least for now. They're coming through and saying they don't trust it. They don't trust the odds. They don't trust that the odds are in their favor when it comes to taking that gamble or taking that risk and choosing you and their connection with you. Okay. they're more interested in going down the path that's not going to continue to reopen old wounds or cause new ones or anything like that. And that's how they're seeing their connection with you. They're interested in healing right now for where you stand with them. They want to heal, and they don't associate their path with you or their connection with you as healing, at least at this point in time. Let's find out what they want. What does the pile 3's person want with pile 3 and their connection with pile 3? Secret. So secret love, secret admirer, moving in silence, more to be revealed. Strategy showing up in the reverse again. Wow. This feels like they want to drop it for now. They don't want to put any mental, any kind of energy into, or resources or effort into the connection. I'm being honest. They don't see the point at this point in time. Give me one more. Knowing the path. What they do want is they want to know that they're doing the right thing. This is just for their own, right? With knowing the path. This is aligning with your purpose, accepting your story, on the right track. Bottom of the deck says ghosting. Yeah. I mean, you know, pile 3, it just kind of is what it is. This is your person wanting to go a different route, to try something different. To see what else is out there. They're not putting any kind of, like, they're not trying to figure things out when it comes to you and their connection with you. They've already made the decision and have come to the conclusion that at this point in time there just isn't a reason to risk giving you and this connection another chance. For what they're wanting, it's like they just want to drop it and go a different route. Tell me about secrets. Let's see. Ghosting at the bottom of the deck says abrupt ending. Ending all communication and no closure. Yeah, that's background energy still. That's still active. So, I mean, again, this is your person basically saying, you know, this is how things are going to be for a while, at least. You know, with the golden mirror there, for where you stand, if you're still putting in a lot of energy into this connection, it's like you're the only one that's doing that. Your person has already walked away, mentally, emotionally, energetically, you know, even in the real world, right? Pursuing other options and seeing what else is out there. They're not interested in, you know, providing closure if that's what you're needing. These are some harsh messages, pile 3, and I'm so sorry. If you have a hard time, like, getting closure, like if you're needing an apology from this person, or if there's something coming through about maybe you're needing help kind of tying things up, you know, leaving things in the past, whatever the case may be, right? You can provide yourself with closure. you know, and there is going to be a time of grieving, right? It is what it is, but you just want to make sure that you don't, you know, unpack and live there for, you know, longer than what it needs to be. And so, you know, if you're having a difficult time with, like, if this reading has triggered some things, pile 3, I completely understand why it would. You can provide yourself closure, and you can also get to the point where your person is at in this connection if you want to, right? Regardless of whether or not you are purposefully trying to manifest this person back in, you want to make sure that you're doing that from the space where you're not trying to manifest them in for the purposes of, like, you know, filling a void, or, you know, trying to manifest them in from a space of scarcity, from needing validation, from needing to feel alive inside and stuff like that. You want to be able to fill those spaces within yourself first. And then, you know, that way this desire for your person is coming from a space of, you know, abundance and not scarcity, if that makes sense. So I have another channel linked in the description box. There's 2 videos that are linked there as well. The first one is how to stop manifesting separation. The second video is the process by which to do that, called Releasing the Wants. And that will help you. It's multifaceted. It will help you you know, dissolve those triggers. It'll help you move through and work through whatever pain. You know, if there's any toxic cords or soul ties, it'll help you dissolve those as well, so that your whatever desire you might have to reconcile with your person is coming from a clean space, from the God space, not the wounded space. Okay, you guys. Pile 3, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, please. Smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family. If you haven't yet already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about that notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And Pile 3, I'll see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, you guys.